Welcome into Wager Talk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Andrew McGinnis and Andy Lang of WagerTalk.com. We are talking NFC West here. Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers here, McGinnis. We're seeing the 49ers -2 in the hook. Home favorites over the Seattle Seahawks, 52 being the total. You liking anything in Levi's Stadium Sunday afternoon?
Well, look, I believe in full transparency, so I'm going to start on right and say this. First of all, I had the Seahawks as a 5% ticket against the Vikings. That didn't go well, and one of the reasons why that didn't go very well was because their secondary couldn't stop you, Drew, Andy, and myself on offense. And so I'm looking at the over in this game. I feel like the San Fran coming off a demoralizing game against the Green Bay Packers. They have a great offense, and I feel for a guy like Jimmy G because he just seems to always be involved in these close games that his team just can't come out on top in. And I feel like all the stats, all the trends between these two teams really can back this up. And one interesting stat that I found for the Seahawks, overs 9-3-1 their last 13 games as a dog. And I also found that overs 5-0-1 last 6 meetings between these two teams and 5-0 last 5 times at San Francisco. And when I look at these teams, I know they can both put up points, and everybody loves the San Fran defense, but I'm not so sure I'm as high on them as the other people might think in, the football betting world. So when I look at this game, I think it sets up perfectly for just an absolute shootout. It's a higher total, but I'm going to roll with it with the over in the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Looking towards the over. I like it, McGinnis. Andy, coming to you next, talking about the Seahawks dropping 2 straight games. You think they can rebound here in Levi Stadium, or are you looking more towards the total?
I agree with the total, 51.5. I'm going to go with San Fran, though. The Seahawks just can't keep anyone off the field. Dead last in time of possession this season. They hold the ball for just barely over 23 minutes a game on offense. Their defense is out on the field a lot. They've given up 30 points 2 games in a row. They can move the ball on offense, but it's more out of necessity because they're just not out on the field a lot. Believe it or not, Seattle, number 1 team in yards per play with a 7.4 yard average. So what happens is they score quick and the defense gets out there and gets worn down. This is a San Francisco team that loves running the ball despite all of the injuries. We saw Trey Sermon, even though Green Bay played pretty well against the San Francisco rush offense. It's just going to get worn down. The 49ers only have 1 takeaway. The Seahawks only 2. So these are not teams that turn the ball over. So you're going to see the offenses be able to do pretty much whatever they want. I think there's going to be a lot of points in the game, but in the end, when you only hold the ball 23 minutes a game, that just lets the other team wear you down. And as long as it's under a field goal, I'll be on San Francisco. I don't trust this Seahawks team. Anything that has to do with the Seahawks that isn't Russell Wilson involved seems to be below average. I like San Fran. They played well against the Packers. They had many opportunities to win that game. So I'll take San Fran.
All right, liking the 49ers there from Andy Lang. Also find Andrew McGinnis at WagerTalk.com, the both of them. And another thing you can find at WagerTalk.com is the live odds screen, guys, the best free live odds in the business. You heard Andy Lang say 51.5. I said 52. Also -2.5, the San Francisco 49ers. There's -3s out there as well. If you're looking to get the best of the number, very important in this business, make sure to check it out. The live odds screen at WagerTalk.com.